Hello children, welcome back to science class. So children, today we will continue with the second lesson, components of food. In the last session we discussed about the components of food, carbohydrates, fats and proteins. In this session you will be learning about vitamins, minerals, water and dietary fibers and about deficiency diseases. Vitamins are protective food which are required in very small quantities, and you will learn more about vitamins and their importance and different types of vitamins. So vitamins are needed for the proper functioning of our body. They help in keeping our eyes, bones, teeth and gums healthy. There are 13 vitamins, each of which has a specific function. That means each vitamin has got different function. There are two types of vitamins, fat soluble and water soluble. So what are fat soluble vitamins? Vitamins like A, D, E and K are fat soluble vitamins. What do you mean by that? They are stored in the fat tissues of our body and are used only when the body needs them. Our body prepares vitamin D in the presence of sunlight. The rest, it will be stored in the fat tissues of our body only when it is required. It makes use of vitamin A, E and K, and D in the presence of sunlight our body only prepares vitamin D. Then what are water soluble vitamins? Vitamins like B1, B2, B3, B6, B12 and folic acid, together we call it as a vitamin B complex, and also vitamin C are called water soluble vitamins. Since water soluble vitamins are not stored in the body, these need to be regularly supplied through food items like citrus fruits, spinach and other green leafy vegetables. So water soluble, it is not stored in our body. You have to take it from outside by eating citrus fruit, spinach and green leafy vegetable. Lack of vitamins will cause disease, and that is called as deficiency diseases. Now let us know the sources of all these vitamins. Okay, we'll start from vitamin A. So which are the sources? How do you get vitamin A to your body? By eating papaya, tomatoes, carrot, then fish, then egg, milk, mangoes. These will supply vitamin A to our body. So vitamin B we get from milk, cheese, egg, green leafy vegetables, fruits and vegetables, meat. So all these supply vitamin B to our body. So we get vitamin C from guava, tomatoes, berries, oranges, then grapes, all these, lemon, all these are citrus fruits. So citrus fruits provide vitamin C to our body. So what about vitamin D? So we get it from egg, butter, fish, milk and also in the presence of sunlight. If our body should be exposed to sunlight, from there we get vitamin D is produced in our body. So we get vitamin E from egg, green leafy vegetables, whole grains and from sunflower oil. So we get vitamin K from egg, tomatoes and green vegetables. So children, now we have understood about vitamins, importance of vitamins, different types of vitamins and the sources of vitamins to our body. Next we will move on to minerals. So minerals are also called as a protective food which are required in small amounts. So why do we require minerals? It helps in the manufacture of hemoglobin in blood, proper growth of bones and teeth, and secretion of thyroid hormone and proper functioning of nerves and muscles. So just like vitamins, minerals also help our body to stay healthy. Minerals perform different important functions like formation of bones, teeth and blood cells, and helps in maintaining normal heartbeat. So there are two types of minerals, macro minerals and trace minerals. So as the name says, macro, large. So macro minerals are needed by the body in large amounts as compared to trace minerals. So calcium, magnesium, sodium and potassium are the examples of macro minerals. Trace minerals are needed by the body in very small quantities. So examples for trace minerals are iron, zinc, copper and iodine. So now let us learn the sources of these minerals one by one. The first one is iodine. So we get iodine from seafood and garlic and iodized salt. So next time when you buy in the shop, just look for iodized salt. So that will supply iodine to our body. So we get calcium from eggs and milk products also. Phosphorus from milk and bananas. So we get iron from green leafy vegetables and jaggery, almonds and berries. So these are all rich iron content food and they supply iron to our body. So we get potassium from milk, buttermilk, peach, bananas, almonds. These are all rich in potassium. So apart from carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, apart from all these nutrients, what else is required for our body? Apart from that, we also require water and dietary fibers. It's called as roughage. So they also form an important part of our diet as they help in proper functioning of digestive system. Now let us learn more about importance of water to our body. Almost 70% of our body's weight is water. So water is needed by our body for good health. Children, we have to drink about 5 to 7 liters of water daily. So what is the use by drinking so much of water? It helps our body to perform many functions like digestion, excretion, that is throwing out dissolved waste in the form of urine or in the impure blood, and it also regulates our body temperature. What do you mean by that? Water helps to keep our body cool through sweating, and water helps in blood circulation. It helps to transport substances inside our body, and water helps our body to absorb nutrients from the food. So all these are the importance of water to our body. And we get water not only from the liquids, children. We also get water from the food we eat. Milk, fruits, vegetables and juices are all very good sources of water. So now we will learn about roughage or dietary fibers. The portion of the plant food that do not provide any nutrients to our body but help in maintaining a healthy digestive system is called as roughage or dietary fibers. Whole grains, cereals, potatoes, fresh food, raw and cooked vegetables provide roughage to our food. It helps in proper digestion of food and prevents constipation. So there are two types of roughages, soluble roughage and insoluble roughage. Soluble roughage means it dissolves in water, whereas insoluble roughage, they don't dissolve, they are insoluble in water. Apple, strawberry, peach and rice are all examples of food items which are rich in soluble roughage that helps in blood circulation. Whole grain, carrot, cabbage, turnip, cauliflower are all examples of food items which are rich in insoluble roughage. So lack of these means if you eat less of insoluble roughage, which leads to the stool to become hard and difficult to pass. and this condition is called as constipation. Children, you have understood how much all other nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, water, how much they are important to us. Similarly, even roughage is also very much important. And I think you have understood from where all the sources of roughage we get to our body. So every meal we take, that is our diet, must contain all these nutrients. That's just now we discussed about all the nutrients, no children, all these nutrients in a proper quantity for our body to function properly. A diet that contains adequate amount of all the nutrients required for the healthy functioning of our body is called as balanced diet. So our balanced diet should include food items. So it's been divided into 4 food groups. They are milk group. That means it includes milk and milk products. Meat groups. That includes meat like chicken, fish. And those who don't eat meat, that is vegetarians, so they can substitute with beans, peas, nuts and seeds. Fruits and vegetable group, which includes all fruits and vegetables. And grain group, which includes breads and cereals. So one should have all these groups in every meal, in every diet, and that is called as balanced diet for our body to function properly. So what happens if we don't take required amount of all these nutrients to our body? What will happen to us? So the lack of carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins or minerals in the diet can cause diseases. So the diseases that are caused due to the lack of nutrients in the diet are called deficiency diseases. That means if we don't take proper nutrients, we end up with diseases, and that is called as deficiency diseases. And one thing children, deficiency diseases cannot be transmitted from one person to another. It is the deficiency in your body, so it won't transmit it from one person to another person. So now you will learn about deficiency of each nutrient and what they are called. So deficiency of carbohydrate causes lack of energy and stamina. As you know that carbohydrates are energy producing food. So if you don't have proper carbohydrates in your body, so lack of energy, you won't be having energy also and stamina to do work. So deficiency of protein causes disease called kwashiorkor. You can see here children, kwashiorkor is a disease where the stomach portion will be bulged and the whole body, you can see the legs and hands will be thin and the stomach portion will be bulged, and this deficiency is caused lack of proteins. This disease is called lack of proteins in our body. The combination of proteins and carbohydrate, lack of proteins and carbohydrates ends up with disease called marasmus. And you can see here in this disease marasmus, you can see children, the hands and legs will become so thin, and this causes lack of energy and stamina. Next we will learn more about deficiency of vitamins, and you can see here vitamin A. Vitamin A, if it is less in our body, which causes loss of vision. That means poor vision, loss of vision in darkness, sometimes complete loss of vision also. So vitamin A causes loss of vision. Now vitamin B causes the disease called beriberi. So beriberi, you can see here children, weak muscles and very little energy to do work. So deficiency of vitamin C in our body results in scurvy. The disease name is called as scurvy. So the scurvy, you can see here children, bleeding of gums. Wounds takes longer time to heal. If there is less of vitamin C in our body, we end up with scurvy. Scurvy is nothing but bleeding of gums. Even if it is a small wound, it takes longer time to heal. So deficiency of vitamin D ends up with rickets. The disease name is called as rickets. So here what will happen? The bones will become very soft and it will be bent. You can see here how the bones are bent. Now, deficiency of vitamin E causes anemia, and with deficiency of vitamin K causes hemorrhage. So now you will learn about deficiency of minerals, that is less of minerals to our body. What will happen? So less of calcium, phosphorus and fluorine leads to weak bones and tooth decay. So lack of or deficiency of iodine causes goiter. So goiter, can you see in this picture, children? So glands in the neck appear swollen. So this disease is called as goiter. Sometimes we will also find mental disability in children if there is deficiency of iodine. Deficiency of iron causes anemia, that is weakness to our body. Deficiency of sodium and potassium leads to weak nerves and weak muscle contraction. So children, you have understood different components of food, their sources, and what will happen if less of these nutrients to our body, we end up with deficiency diseases. And you also know the importance of balanced diet. Just to create an awareness among ourselves, there is a small activity to make a food pyramid, and I will just show you how to make a food pyramid. So what all you require is kg cardboard, and you need to collect all these sources of food, different sources of food, and you have to place according to the nutrients. You have to make in the pyramid shape and go on pasting the picture according to their sources. So 4 different sources they have taken: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. So which all the picture you have collected, place according to their nutrients, and you can create a wonderful food pyramid. And this reminds you, every day you have to consume all these things to keep our body healthy and away from diseases. So children, I think you have understood this activity, how to do it. So you can see according to their sources and nutrients, you have to paste the picture. So by seeing this food pyramid, and every day in every meal you will have all these nutrients in your diet. So this reminds you to have balanced diet every day to keep ourselves healthy and fit. So I hope you have understood this activity, children. So children, make a habit of reading the lesson. Read the lesson components of food, and the remaining question answers and objectives I'll be posting in the WhatsApp group. So thank you, children.